Welcome to Stand on the Media. Salute to my Stand on the Media family. I appreciate y'all. Salute to y'all, man. Thank y'all for always showing up. If you're new to the channel, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, like this video. Leave me a comment in this video because I do comment back, and hit that notification bell so you're notified whenever we do drop videos. Listen, man, thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. I don't want to overtalk this. We're going to get right to this content, man. Salute to Point and Shoot. Salute to Point and Shoot. And if you know anything about Point and Shoot, you know this boy is surgical with this content. So salute to Point and Shoot. All I'm going to say, Wack, Luce, Adam 22, y'all in trouble, bruh. Y'all really in trouble. Man, and I'm not saying it. The content speaking. The content is speaking. With that being said, let me shut up. I'm going to let Point and Shoot do what he do. Salute to Point and Shoot. Oh, before we go, this is satire content. This is my opinions. I am a reaction channel. I'm just reacting to the content, giving my personal opinion and my feedback, not to be taken serious at all. This is all satire comedy. Let's go.
Sidekick, Luce Cannon. And these victims were beaten so badly, so extensively, that by the end of it, they were both stretched out in the alley unconscious naked. What? So it wasn't enough just to beat them senseless, but they actually wanted to view their naked bodies, so they stripped them naked while they were laying unconscious. And they were pistol whipped also, which is, I mean, it looked like they were trying to disalive the two fucking guys. What? So this was really serious, and this happened at No Jumper. These people went to No Jumper and were beaten unconscious, nearly disalived. And so there's a big lawsuit coming apparently, and that does not sound good for the 16 or Wack 100 because they got money, right? And lawyers love to go after people that have money. And so the 16 of Nashua, as you could imagine, is probably very stressed out right now. I see he's gained some of the weight back. My guess is that he's been stress eating, okay, over this.
Anybody who brings any type of violence to my office, to the building, to my area, you are immediately X'd out. You're not allowed on the property. So
he's at max stress. And so, and he should, because it happened at No Jumper, right? I mean, that's what he says.
The fact that there was a pretty vicious assault that took place at my facility.
All right, so this is why I believe that there is a strong case against the 16 and No Jumper for premises liability. In California, there's premises liability laws, and this means that every property owner is responsible for the safety and welfare of everyone that is on their property legally.
Keeping the premise in a reasonably safe condition, which means the duty to warn of dangerous conditions that they know or should know about. Whoever runs the premise is aware that people will be coming in. There's a an imputed legal understanding that the owner of this property should know that the invitee has the right to expect that there's no reason to think that they're danger. That there are dangers present.
So what I'm getting from this is that the 16 may have been responsible for warning these people that there were dangers present. And by dangers, I mean like gang members walking around inside with guns and everything else like that. And so what happened? So let me try to explain what happened. So I don't know if any of this is true. This is all rumors, but apparently the two victims traveled to No Jumper to conduct business with Three Fingers Wack and Luce Cannon. And at a certain point, they were led outside of the building where they were attacked physically. And that's where, we saw the vicious attack. And rumor has it that these two victims have gang ties that were in opposition to the politics of the No Jumper Crips and the No Jumper Bloods. So I don't know what's going on here, but it doesn't matter if they're gang members or not. They have a reasonable expectation of safety when entering someone's property for business-related matters.
I was called for some business. I was there to handle my business, bring two companies together, which is 100 ENT and Dodge Network together. That's what I was there for.
Okay.
So I want to show you guys the first clip, actually, and this is the 16 of Nashua on the No Jumper show making a public statement about the event. And he doesn't seem too worried. He says he's lawyered up. He says it has nothing to do with him and that he's not concerned.
People have been given, a longer leash in the sense that they're like allowed to pull up with more people and everything. And I think we really saw the downside of that the other day because some shit happened that in no way involved us. And yes, you guys can probably tell, yes, I have spoke to my lawyers, and they've been very good in making me feel confident that there is no real case against us, given that nobody who works at No Jumper had anything to do with this. It didn't happen inside our building. It happened outside of our building.
All right, so the 16 talked to his quote-unquote lawyers, which I'm not sure if he even has any lawyers, because this sounds very stupid for them to say, oh, no, you're fine. Yeah, go talk about it on live. They got no case. Who cares if they got pistol whipped and knocked unconscious and were stripped naked and left for dead in the front yard of your business? What? Who cares? They're not. Fuck them. Those fucking pussies. And so that's what the lawyers are apparently telling the 16, because he's going on and saying that he's fine. He didn't have anything to do with it, even though it was entirely facilitated by No Jumper. And so I want to explain why I think there is very much so a case against the 16 and No Jumper for premises liability. And that is because No Jumper, let's face it, is gang related. It's a gang podcast. And they have so many different gang members from different sets of different hoods, and it's like a melting pot of enemies. That's what No Jumper is. It's a gang hub. It's a hub. What? Okay? So it's extremely dangerous, and we've seen the danger over and over again. We've seen the danger of the gang activity at No Jumper. And so basically the plaintiffs are going to have to, if they sue, they're going to have to prove that the 16 was negligent because he knew that there was danger at his building and he didn't do enough to prevent people from being injured because of it. And so to him knowing that there's all this gangsterism going on and he's not even at the building, he's got gangsters hanging out at his building, to me, that's allowing that to happen.
People have been given a longer leash. They're like allowed to pull up with more people and everything. And I think we really saw the downside of that.
So the 16 allowed this to happen at his facility, knowing that all these gang members like to roost and hang out and shoot their dice and stuff all over the building there and do all this gangsterism. So the 16 knows that his building is dangerous. We remember I remember when Snoopy Badass ran into Brick Baby because there was a minor scheduling issue at No Jumper and they ran into each other, and Snoopy Badass like said he was going to stab someone in the neck. He pulled out a knife.
I was like, when you run up on me, I'm going to stab you in the neck. You know what I'm saying? Yo, run up on me, nigga, I'm going to stab in the neck, nigga.
So that was a potentially deadly situation at No Jumper not too long ago, and the 16 acknowledged that this was their fault, that this was they were negligent in this scheduling discrepancy. Listen to this.
Stream immediately before somebody that he has issues with is going to do an interview. So the ball was kind of dropped in regards to the No Jumper team on that. You know, I guess I didn't emphasize it enough. So I got to take the blame for that, for the fact that this happened. We need to be a lot more on point when it comes to potential oppie encounters.
Oppie encounters?
And let me just ask y'all a question. How many professional podcast channels out there that you see that have this type of activity that goes on at their podcast facility that are professional businesses? How many?
So he knows that there's like rival gangs that are coming in and out of this place. That's a known hazard. That's extremely hazardous. That's so hazardous to me. To me, that's like a life and death hazard. You got all these gang members talking about each other on this podcast. Everyone knows where this building is. This building is like a hot spot for gang activity. People just don't feel safe at this facility because of all the armed gang members that all don't like each other that are walking around and stuff. And the guests are not comfortable because they know that No Jumper is a targeted building.
Should we not talk about the fact that she almost got we feel as if somebody might have been lying in wait for her.
Somebody outside.
I can think of somebody.
Somebody was waiting for me.
Do you have any idea who it could have been?
Man, it was a nigga. It was a dark skin.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Because let me tell you, I was super paranoid. I'm like, this is being promoted right now. There's people in LA right now.
Yeah.
So she knows how dangerous it is just for her to be sitting there. Okay. This is a real, I'm not joking. This isn't a joke. I'm actually saying this is a dangerous place. The 16 is just using these people that he's making thumbnails. He's pitting these gangsters against each other. And then they're just sitting ducks. It's bizarre. It's fascinating.
All right, I didn't realize that Big Baby had been booked to do the news because, like, let's be real, we don't have that many, like, oppie encounters that we're trying to avoid. The one consistent one is that when Wack comes through, we can't have Crip Mac around or Big Baby around.
SPI.
So that's like the main one.
All right, so he just says Wack 100's the main one, that they got got to worry about. They have to make sure that none of his enemies are there, or else it could be probably potentially dangerous. And it just so happens that Wack 100, aka Three Fingers Wack, was standing right next to the guy that got beat to shit, and he was standing right there when he got punched. So he's directly involved. Isn't that a coinky dink? And Three Fingers Wack is known for violence. He is extremely violent, and that's just the way it is. And so the 16 having Wack 100 around in any way is a liability, in my opinion. I mean, let's face it, Wack 100 is a Pacoima Pyru. He's from a criminal street gang. And so he's a very dangerous person. He walks around with a gun on his hip. I thought he was a felon. What's he doing with a gun on his hip? Why is he on camera with a gun on it?
That is a great question, point and shoot. I want the people out there to answer that question and ask yourself that question over and over until you answer it. How is he a felon with a weapon?
Hip at No Jumper. This is at No Jumper, and I want to show you this.
Right? And the show itself.
Hey, listen. Hold on.
What the? What the?
Hey, nigga, hold on right now, cuz okay, well, bring him up out of here. Bring him up out of here.
So Wack 100 allegedly has a problem with Jala.
Frederick Jala is my real name.
And so he jumps up out of his chair with his gun and he runs over to apparently assault him or try to assault him or whatever. But here's the deal. This was incredibly inappropriate. Why is Wack 100 picking fights with Jala? Why is he not picking fights with people? He's running from like 19 fades right now. What? Jay Diggs is looking for him, and Wack 100 scared as fuck of Jay Diggs. If no one, you can't even mention Jay Diggs' name around Wack 100. He'll start to tremble and he'll just start shaking like a mini bike because he's so scared. And so I thought that was really interesting that he's going after Jala. Jala's not even he's a non-opponent. Like he couldn't even get up and run away if he wanted to. Jala has no choice but to just play it cool and sit there. What's he going to do? If Jala panicked, he would look exactly like an overturned desert tortoise, just waving his arms and legs around. You know what I mean? Jala can barely move. And so we got Pacoima Pyrus charging after civilians in the workplace with pistols on them, getting involved. The pistols get involved. This is really dangerous. And so this No Jumper facility is completely out of control. I'm wondering, why is the 16 allowing such violence? This is a danger. I mean, they knew that there was danger. And there's everywhere you look at No Jumper, there's some sort of gang member sort of banging on someone, okay?
Look, pop my shit out. Nigga, I'm saying where I'm from myself. I'm saying let them niggas know. They know.
You talking to me like that?
You said where I'm from myself from St. Louis. So if you say pop that shit, I don't know what the fuck you mean.
You clapping your hands. You keep clapping your hands at me on the same crib.
I don't know what that means.
Stop talking to me like that.
So what I'm getting from this is that people are just free to gangbang on this platform. This is a gangbang platform, okay? Brick Baby's the fucking mascot of No Jumper. He's one of the most crippinest Crips that ever cripped.
Bitch, the only reason I ain't come outside and kill one of you niggas, cause I was in front of these white niggas.
Blue, nigga, and it's blasted, nigga. Come on, bro. Hey, nigga, I got more murders than you got squabbles, bitch. In the hood, nigga. Dead homies. You got more skulls than you got squabbles in the set, bitch. On the hood, nigga. Before, hey, I got more skulls than you got squabbles. That's on my folk babies.
So as you can see, this is a gang war zone. This place is completely out of control. It's a dangerous environment, and I would never travel there. So I just wanted that to be shown so we can move on, because I want to show you guys this guy, Luce Cannon. This guy's fucking stupid. What? So Luce Cannon is Three Fingers Wack 100's business partner, butt buddy, sidekick, whatever you want to call him. He's always around Wack 100, it seems. And I think what it is I think that Wack 100 uses Luce Cannon to keep him safe. You know, because Wack 100's always running his mouth on the internet. So whenever Wack 100 goes in public, he always has to have Luce Cannon standing right next to him to keep him safe, to protect him. Luce Cannon is a self-proclaimed gangland enforcer.
I told you, I was big useless enforcer. I kept him safe. I kept a lot of people safe.
So this is probably, in my opinion, what Luce Cannon does for Wack 100 as like his zesty bodyguard, okay? And I think that they're more than friends. I think that they're actually in a homosexual romantic relationship behind the scenes, and I think that that's beautiful, and I think that there's no shame in that, but I want that to be included because I think it's important. Wack 100 won't shut the fuck up about him. They're obviously attracted to each other. Wack 100 mentions Luce Cannon every chance he gets. Oh, me and Luce Cannon, we going in business. We get, it's nauseating. Like, we get it. Already.
Yeah, that was funny.
Luce Cannon is a nepotism crip. Okay, that means that he's an honorary crip from a set that his father was from. So his dad was a Rolling 60, and so that means that Luce Cannon grew up thinking that he was that also, even though he did not grow up in Los Angeles. He grew up in the IE. Okay, he was very privileged. So he's not an authentic crip, and that's why he doesn't have his name. He named himself. Usually you have a street name that other people give you. Well, he didn't grow up like that, so he actually had to give himself a name, and I want to refer to his brother. His twin brother exposed him for why he calls himself Luce Cannon, and this is fucking hilarious. Watch this.
His name, Luce Cannon, he never got it from the internet. We grew up watching wrestling, right? So his favorite wrestler was Luce Cannon, Brian Pillman, and that's where he named himself Luce Cannon. So
Luce Cannon's idol was Brian Pillman from WCW. What? Now, when I first heard this, I hit the fucking floor laughing. I couldn't believe. So Luce Cannon's idol is a fake pro wrestler. So that would explain so much about why he's doing all this stuff online.
Old school, soft. This is what happens. A valuable lesson. He would never, ever forget. Head swelling, bruising, embarrassed. His girl took off her shoes and gave him the stilettos. He walked out of there as a woman that night. It's over. But here we go with the footage. Sweetie! Sweetie!
So I know a lot of people are thinking, like, is this guy, like, you know what I mean? Did he ride on school buses that were very compact when he was growing up? You know what I mean? Like, you know where I'm going with this, but I don't think so. I'm like 70-30 in favor of, I don't think he's stupid enough to be considered, differently abled. So, but he is extremely stupid, and this is a liability to have someone this short-tempered, this stupid, this violent associated with your premises. So I want to play this clip from Back on Fig. This is Wack 100 and Luce Cannon being very weird and sounding like snitches. Listen to this.
When I found out, the nigga tried to turn me in. He sent a video to Alex Alonso, and then he sent it to my probation officer, and now I have warrants for my arrest. Dead homies. They trying to get me locked up because I know too much.
Yeah.
Oh, this is crazy.
And I'm going to be real. We all got people, family members, homeboys who did crossed over into law enforcement.
What the fuck so Wack says, we all got people that's crossing over into law enforcement. No, we don't. Absolutely no, we don't. That's really weird. So Wack 100 has friends in law enforcement. What? And he's got friends and family in law enforcement. That's very interesting. And Loose Lips over here talking about all this shit. I guarantee you Wack 100 before they went on here was like, don't say nothing about no law enforcement, nothing like that. I don't know nothing about that. I don't want to be involved in nothing like that. You keep that to us because we gonna set ourselves up to, he's got a, what do you call it? Prep talk, or prep him. He's got to coach him along. There it is. You got to coach him. He's got to coach Luce Cannon. And so he's like helping Luce Cannon answer the questions and like, yeah, no, Alex Alonso, and let Luce Cannon talk. So Wack 100's like, God damn it, this motherfucker's so stupid. Because he is. Listen to him talk. He's like, he said I had a warrant for my arrest. Dead homies. And I said that I was an informant, and he said that I wasn't one. Right, Wack? And Wack's like, I don't know that dude. And so Luce Cannon and Wack 100 basically function as a unit. They're like in a relationship, basically. When Wack 100 stands up to leave the room, Luce Cannon stands at attention and follows him out. And he does it exactly like a little bitch. Look at this clip.
You and True come sit down for a minute. That's the first exclusive. That's a hit single right there.
Man, come on, man. Y'all got the single out?
Hell yeah, going crazy.
Look at this fucking this Raptors jersey is way too tight. This looks so stupid. How embarrassing. He's got his big old sloppy tits just bulging out of this fucking youth size fucking jersey. What? You know what I mean? Like, what is he doing? He's so stupid. So he follows Wack 100 around everywhere he goes. They're always, talking about each other and everything. They're very, very good friends and close business associates. They're in business with each other too. And it's funny because Wack 100, it seemed like he was trying to distance himself from Luce Cannon and pretend like I don't even know that dude. He got his own thing. He's trying to create distance because of this assault. Look at this.
You know my people. My people, when I get here, they're here. If you ain't here when I get here, I ain't with you. So I don't send my people out because they gonna go out and I know whoever it is ain't with me, right? I say, Luce, whoever out there, maybe they're your people, go check. So he goes out.
So he does this and he does that. So Wack 100 doesn't want anything to do with Luce Cannon anymore. Apparently, he wants to distance himself. He's saying that Luce Cannon's not even his people. He said, I didn't send my people out there. Luce Cannon said. So Luce Cannon, it's all Luce Cannon's fault. It's not Wack 100's fault. That's interesting. How quickly he folds like that, especially considering that Wack 100, just the other day, Wack 100 was talking about how they were business partners. They were going into business. They are pretty much like life mates.
I've been telling him for the last 3 months, I'm gonna set us up to let's win with success. For the last 3 months, we didn't set up 4 or 5 different businesses at launch in 2025. So me and Luce Cannon, we got Dosh Network, Dosh Unlock, we just invested in that. We got a medical treatment facility coming later 2025. We just brought the building, and we built tiny homes, 100 community tiny homes, rental communities, and we also got a bank that's gonna back financing your rent. A new thing, because we tired of the homelessness.
So just the other week, Luce Cannon was like Wack 100's other half, basically. You know what I mean?
What?
Like they were in business together. They had big plans for the future. I mean, they're not Luce Cannon's not Wack's people. Wack 100's going to say, I didn't send my people out there. I sent Luce Cannon out there. Luce Cannon is your people. Okay? And I'm just wondering how Luce Cannon feels about being thrown under the bus like this. I mean, I'd like to also mention it wasn't too long ago that Luce Cannon was saying mean things about Wack 100 and about how he wasn't a gangsta and how he was a little ass bitch.
What's up, cuz? Neighborhood Luce Cannon, a.k.a. Rapid Fire. You know what it is. Putting it on Paru this, Paru that. Nigga, nobody's seen you do nothing. Like, you have to really start watching your mouth because niggas don't play that. Niggas play for keeps. Like, you talking about let's get down. Bitch ass nigga, you don't want to get down with the low nigga. And you could put that on Paru. Oh, let me call Big U. Let me do this. He don't fuck with you. Nigga, you's a bitch. He don't fuck with rats. He don't fuck with rat lovers.
So this is really interesting. Somewhere along the way, Luce Cannon decided that Wack 100 was, in fact, not a rat lover. And then they became best friends, and now they're basically fucking conjoined twins. What? You know what I mean? So that's really interesting. That wasn't that long ago. So I'm thinking Luce Cannon may flip on Wack, and we may have, Wack may be in danger, okay? Wack, do you understand that Luce Cannon is probably going to flip on you? Do you understand? How does that make you feel? To know that you could just get snaked at any moment. Just throwing that out there. Now for this next clip, we're going to hear Luce Cannon's side of the story on why he viciously attacked those poor gentlemen that fateful night. Look at this. This is Luce's side of the story.
Wandering around the parking lot, you know who they are. And Wack was like, no, I don't know who they are. So I'm like, oh, I don't know, but let me go out and holler at them. So I walk out. Right? I walk out with the dude, and he was like, man, I got a problem with Wack. I'm like, you got a problem with Wack about what? Yeah, I just got a problem with him. I'm like, you do? So I called Wack over there. Wack, come over here. Dude was like, man, you running this type of content and stuff like that. And Wack was like, what content? Wack pulled out his phone. Once Wack pulled out the phone, he was like, oh, this content? And then the dude was like, everything is not content. I say, you right. So y'all see the results. Smack. Let's get to it, right?
That made zero sense. What? So at what point was there an argument or he just said everything is not content and then you just took off on him and started attacking him? That's really weird. And speaking of weird, that's not what Wack 100 said happened. He actually said that this was all gang activity. So here is Wack's version of the story. And this is all snitching, by the way. This is all telling. They're telling. I mean, the cops are watching this.
Donnie walks in. Donnie tell you this. Soon as I saw them heads, I say, bro, whoever that is, get them out of here. When you leave, bro, I don't let nobody in this building. If you're here and it's cool, then it's cool. I respect your building. I'm not bigger than this program. Donnie will tell you, soon as they walked in, I didn't even get a chance to see. I said, yo, whoever that is, tell them wait outside, bro. I don't know if it's some loose people or what. So when you called and said there's 2 people in the back, you know my people. So I don't send my people out. I say, Luce, whoever out there, maybe they're your people, go check. So he goes out. I come out. They motion for me to come over there. I come over there, right? I say, what's up? What's the issue? Luce says, so you came up here for content, right? He says, well, however you want to put it, cuz. So Luce tells him, you came up here for content, right? He says back to Luce, whatever, cuz, how you want to put it, on gangster. Luce says, nigga, this is on neighborhood, okay? In this jungle, Adam, anything gangster Crip, anything neighborhood Crip is automatically enemies. That's Crip situation going on, right? I'm a power root. It's 2 men. So what do? I take a step back. That point in time, because if I get in the middle of it and one of them swing, my people activate it.
So I think this is all my opinion, but I think Wack 100 is trying to come up with a reason why he's being shown taking a step back on camera a split second before the punch is thrown, almost as if he knew the punch was coming, as if it was planned maybe. So that's really interesting. And another thing, during the uncensored video that's up on Twitter, Wack 100 stays silent throughout the beating until the pistols come out. And then he says, no, stop, no, stop.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Luke, don't do that. Luke, don't do that.
But he didn't say no, stop during the initial beating. It's almost like he wanted it to happen. I mean, it seems like it plays out like a movie scene. It fits perfectly. And so this is not looking good. I mean, the 16, like I said, is probably very nervous about a lawsuit. He's probably irritated at the fact that this is terrible press.
This is the thing that pissed me off about it, is the fact that people always want to put out this bullshit narrative about No Jumper and say that this is a gang hangout, that there is violence taking place all the time, when in reality, how many times has that actually happened?
It doesn't need to have happened over and over again for there to be a potential danger, you fucking stupid cock. Do you understand? You're not going to get out of this just by going, oh, no one else has been beaten nearly to death, so I'm not liable. You may be liable, okay? Absolutely. Absolutely.
That we are just a place for violence, and that this is a place where it's almost encouraged that people be attacking each other. I 100% disagree with that, but then now we have this new thing that basically makes it seem as if that is the case. And I very much resent it. And, if this was a situation where people just showed up talking shit, trying to fight, and Luce Cannon did what he did to them.
So he's coping and he's coping and he's coping and he's worried, okay? And so I want to play you this next clip, because I think it shows that the 16's sort of banking on there being no police report, because they're all gang members. Gang members don't file police reports, but in order to sue someone, it's really favored if you have a police report so that the court can acknowledge this as a serious matter with legitimacy to it. So the 16 thinks that, he's hoping, I think, that there's going to be no police report.
I think really we're just kind of waiting to see, will there be a police report filed? Because from what I'm hearing, the dudes who seemingly were assaulted are gang members. From my perspective, gang members usually don't call the cops on other gang members.
So the 16's just basically waiting to see if he's calling their bluff. He's like, look, we're just waiting on a police report. I thought they were gangsters. They're not going to file a police report, are they?
They say Jay Reed made a statement and is working with the police. The police tried to contact Adam 22, make a statement. He refused.
Well, it looks like the 16 of Nashua got himself an answer, didn't he?
What?
So the police are on the case, and that means that a police report may have been filed, and there may be a lawsuit getting ready to get filed, okay? So we may have to kick a cuck's ass out of town. What? After all of this, you know? I mean, these guys got stripped down naked, the public humiliation. They had their ding-dings all over the internet for everyone to see. That sounds so damaging, so horribly life-changing and damaging. So much that, I mean, I think that the 16 should have to pay millions, just me personally, but I'm not a lawyer. I'm just a spectator. I'm a commentator. I do not give a shit what happens. I don't care if there's a lawsuit or there's not a lawsuit. I just think it's funny that the 16's going through all this and that there's so much bad press. There's so much negative press about No Jumper. I think that's actually the main point here is the damage has been done. Regardless of lawsuits, this is terrible. This was so harmful to the No Jumper brand that I just think it's so funny. So thank you guys for watching this point and shoot video. I'm getting hit left and right by copyright strikes. So please help me out. Hit like and subscribe. Leave me a comment so we can get this shit back bumping. All right. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks again.
So that's pretty much the end of that. There was no need for me to, give my reaction throughout the content. So please don't be mad at me point and shoot that I let the entire thing play. I think it was absolutely important and imperative that I did that. Wow. That's how you do a breakdown. A thorough breakdown of the situation. Point and shoot. Verbally whoop their ass with the truth, by the way. I cannot put enough emphasis on that. The truth. He broke down this completely 100% with the truth. You cannot dispute anything that man just said. I was paying attention. Yeah, it was a few little jokes in there, over exaggerations here and there, but for the most part, that was flawless of the truth. Wow. Please go to Point Shoot's page and show that brother some love. Like, subscribe, comment in his video. They are trying to take his page out because he speaks the truth. They're trying to censor any channel that reports the truth. Any channel with integrity, they're trying to report and get them out the way. It's not just because they don't like the truth being told. It's because they are working. They have an agenda. And channels like me, channels like Point and Shoot, and others are in the way of their agenda. Remember that and believe that. Gangland Neem, channels like that, us, we are in their way. Don't allow them to get us out the way. We need to be very much in the way. Right, but because y'all are out here manipulating everything. Y'all are manipulating the narrative, the stories to fit your narrative, your story. Y'all are out here extorting. Y'all are out here playing in people's faces. Salute to Point and Shoot. If you're new to the channel, do me a favor, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, like this video. Please comment in this video. That would be much appreciated. Hit the notification bell, and you will be notified whenever we do drop videos. To my loyal supporters, my Stand on the Media family, my Straight No Chaser family, my District 13 family, whoever is out there that keeps continuing to support me, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm telling you, man, I'm coming. I'm getting better. I don't care what these dudes say or what they try to do. I'm not getting out the way. I don't care about your little shitty ass comments about me giving my perspective. I'm a reaction channel. I know that you have an agenda and you have a purpose for doing that. Man, I just look at it and laugh and shake my head because you are really lost in the sauce. You are truly lost in the sauce. I had somebody in my comment section say, what did he say? He said that that's how he knew that I wasn't from the streets, because on another video that I just dropped, Wack and them kept drilling the guy on P's and Q's live. They kept drilling the guy about who he was and where he's from, and he wouldn't give up that information. And dude was supposed to be a street gangbanger or whatever they want to say he was. He never said he was anything. So I don't want to put any labels on anybody, but he said that I wasn't from the streets because I supported the dude not giving up that information. And if you're from the streets and you on some gangster shit, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to identify yourself. So let me say something to you, keep it G, because I know that's who you are. See, that's why I know you not really a street dude. I know that you really working. See, if he was dealing with some street niggas on some street shit, talking street talk, then I can 100% understand that and concur with that. But one rule about gangster shit, and I'm not even a gangster, you don't do no talking on no internet. You don't do no talking on no phone. You don't do no identifying. So why are you so eager for this man to identify himself for the world to hear and see? Gangsters don't talk. Gangsters move in silence. The L like lasagna ain't something like Lil Wayne said. But I ain't no gangster. No, I'm not no gangster, far from it. I just grew up in a gangster environment. I grew around nothing but gangsters, real niggas who don't do no talking, who do the opposite of what your leader do. See, because your leader is working. And the fact that you, at this point, don't realize that makes me think two things. You're dumb or you're working. Like I always say, we'll see you on the other side. Salute to my Stand on the Media family. We love you. We'll catch you on the next one.